Hello everybody and welcome back to an update video of the app. I will only explain how to use the new mode. So if you are new, please watch this video first that explains how to use the flashcard system and then come back to watch this video and learn how to use the new writing mode. Also stay till the end to learn how to make your own magic pen. Alright, let's get started. I will first show you some changes that I think are pretty cool. So if we enter to collect characters and we enter to any level and then to any unit, we will see a preview of what characters are going to appear in the unit. But now you will also have these arrows that goes to the next unit, so you can switch between units very easily. Here's something really cool, which is the more info button. If you press this, it will change the preview from a grid format to a list format. Now you will be able to see a lot of valuable information at once, like the pinyin, the meaning, the level that the character has in your collection, and the amount of strokes that each character have. But wait, there's more. Now if you press any of these characters, it will open the stroke order screen, where you will see pinyin, meaning, and you can see every stroke how it is written. Also you have this button of play all, which will play every stroke in order, and you have this button to play the sound. Okay, we can close this or just press done. If you go back to the grid format, you will also be able to press any character and see how it is written. That's awesome. So before this update, we usually have the enter unit button, which will start the flashcards. Now this button is called learn flashcards, which will open the unit in the flashcard mode, where you can press know it or don't know it, and you can answer them with the multiple choice, with the different multiple choice. If we go back, let's quit and go back to the unit, we can see now that there is a new button called writing, and this is where the magic starts. See that text that appeared below? It says that even if we make mistakes, the character won't be lost from the collection. It will just be sent to review and confirm for us to have another chance to practice them. Okay, what do we have here? First of all, we have how many cards are in the unit. We have the pronunciation button to hear how it is pronounced. We have the stroke counters, which says how many strokes are there in these characters, and we have the error counter. This is how many errors we can do before this character is sent to review and confirm. Then we have the canvas, where we write the characters with our finger or a magical pen, which I will show you later on how to do it yourself. If we feel that this character is actually pretty hard for us, we can press the review button to send it to review and confirm, so we can later practice it one more time. Now we can continue with this word, and let's say that we don't know the order of the strokes. We can press the strokes button. And this is the same screen that just appeared, actually pretty familiar now. We can press next to see the next strokes and play all to play them all. Alright, and the idea is to start writing. Okay, so this is the first stroke and this is the next one. See, 2 out of 7 strokes. I have to say that this writing system is actually pretty friendly. So even if you make it like not 100% precise, if you have the general direction, it will count as correct. For example, let's take this stroke. It is like this, but let's say that we do it here and shorter. It will count that as correct. And for example, let's make a mistake. Alright, it is not like this. Oh, okay, so it's actually this continue line. The point that I want to make here is that every 2 mistakes that you make, it will show you what the next stroke is in every mode that we will see later, like challenges and bosses. Every 2 mistakes, it will show you the next stroke. For example, every correct answer will also give us an XP, so everything we do is progress. We can also hide the shadow or the ghost. If you forget the order of the strokes, you can always click the stroke button to see what the next stroke is. Alright, this downwards. Okay, so it is this one. Very nice. You can always skip the character if it's too difficult, and it will send it as well to review and confirm. And lastly, we have this button, which will be our best friend, which will show every stroke and the order of each one with a number and like the starting point of the stroke. So you can see here that it starts here and goes up. Then number 5 is like this. That's pretty cool, right? And we can make this with every character. Okay, here we have like which characters are going to appear next. And that's pretty much it. Let's now exit from this unit. Let's go back. And now let me show you these 3 buttons: known, review, and confirm. Every character that we don't know how to write or we didn't recognize correctly in the flashcard mode will go to review and confirm, as you previously know. But now there are some little tweaks which are pretty good. If we enter to one of these buttons, previously it would send us to the flashcard mode automatically. But now that we have this flashcard and writing mode, it's a bit different. Now we will first pop a preview of all the characters that we have either in confirm, in review, or in known, and we will be able to see them in the grid mode and also in the list mode, which has all the information. But wait, there is more, because remember, this will be the best app for Chinese language learners. Remember that, okay? What I was going to show you is the sort button. Now we can sort all these characters from confirm, review, or known by how do you say this? By letter, A to C, C to A, and also by units. If we press this, we will first see all the numbers because that's the first unit. We also can sort it from less strokes to more strokes, and from the more strokes to less strokes. From less strokes or from more strokes to, less, which is a little bit more complicated. And lastly, we have the random mode, which will pop it in a random order. Let's pick the units order. We can now start the flashcard mode that we already are familiar, or the writing mode. And this order that we see here will be actually the order that we will be able to practice there. So yeah, that's cool. Let's start the writing. We have the order that we just saw in the preview screen. That will give us more different ways to review and practice the characters that we can now do it in flashcard mode or writing mode. Okay, let's go now to the challenges, which are in the level up button. We see that there are a few visual tweaks which make it more, appealing. A new thing that I added is the challenges counter. We can see how many flashcard challenges we have done and how many writing challenges we have done. This is like a way to keep a record of how much effort we have put in the app. We will do a classic challenge. We have the flashcard mode, which is the one that you already know how it works, and we have the writing mode. Once we press that, we see that the writing challenge is actually only 5 random characters from your collection, not 10, but 5. And if we make a mistake, it will not affect our collection. We won't lose the character, unlike the flashcard mode. And in this mode, we actually have 2 different modes, which is easy and normal. The difference between these is that in the easy mode, we will have the shadow from the characters at all time, otherwise known as the ghost of the character. And in the normal mode, we won't have it. So let's start with the easy mode first to show you. We will have the same 90 seconds from the flashcard challenge. And now, if you think that the music is too loud, you can actually regulate the volume of the music. If we don't know how to answer this character, we can always skip it, but we will lose a life. So in the challenges, we can do it only once. And okay, let's make this one. Alright, in every challenge and boss, it doesn't matter if it's in the easy or the normal mode, it will always show you the first stroke in yellow. And now you may be asking, how is Lily going to help us? Well, if we press her, she will pop up the order of the strokes. So this will make us so easy for us. Alright.
Faith.
Okay, I don't have any time left, so let's just do our best. Okay, yeah, time's up. Even if we fail or succeed in the challenge, we will see how much time we spend in each of the characters that we answered. Don't worry if you make a lot of mistakes. That's why making mistakes in the writing mode won't take away the character from your collection. It will only add it to review and confirm for you to have, another chance to review it. And also, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because even the Chinese people don't actually know how to write every character. So if you are going to make mistakes, make it with this app. Let's do it again, but this time I will try hard. See, the first stroke is always shown. And remember, if we make 2 consecutive mistakes, like for example, I do this, it will actually show me which is the correct stroke. Also remember that if in any moment you forget the order, you can always ask for help with Lily. Now that I have succeeded, it will show me all the characters, the time that I spent with each one, and also the difficulty of each character, which it is measured with how much strokes it has or how much different characters the word has. Now let me show you what the normal mode looks like. So the difference is that in this mode, you don't have anything. Only the first stroke. And let's say that you don't have a clue how to continue here. You can make 2 mistakes and it will show you the next stroke, or you can press this new button which only appears in the normal modes, which will show you for like 4 seconds the strokes of the character. So you have to memorize them and know the order. And in this mode, Lily will help you in a different way. If you press her, firstly, she will freeze the time. And it will show you the 3 next strokes are, so that you can, write them. Let's do that again. Okay, look carefully. I cannot do anything here. I can only watch. And when she says write, I can start writing. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's how the challenges work in this writing mode. So remember, to enter the writing mode, we can always choose between the flashcard mode and the writing mode. And in the writing mode, we have the easy and the normal mode. Let's now see the last thing and one of the most important things on the app, which are the bosses. How do they look in the writing mode? You have the cross the forest button, which is the flashcard mode of the boss. And then you have this view card button. If you press that, it will show you the grid, all the characters that can appear in this boss battle. And we can also make it list mode to see all this information. We can press any of these characters to see the stroke order. That's pretty handy. It will also work in the green mode. So once we already know how many cards we have, which I always recommend you to have all the cards in your collection, not like me, I only have 40 out of 90, so don't do this at home. Now if we press the writing button, we also have the easy mode and the normal mode. I will show you first the easy mode. So the idea is the same as the flashcard mode. Answer correctly to deal damage to the boss. Now in these boss battles, every stroke that we make correctly will do damage. And that is pretty satisfying,
再见.
If we don't know the character, we can skip it. We will lose a life, but we won't lose any more time. Review and confirm for us to later review it. We have a complicated character. Let's ask Lily for some help. And she will show us the sequence of the strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once we answer correctly the word, it will also do the damage that each character is supposed to do. In this case, it's 104, which is calculated by the level of the character, the shui ping that you have. Remember that shui ping is your player's level. Each XP will increase your shui ping, and also the daily streaks will also increment your damage. The damage will be displayed down below as just like the flashcard mode. So you see I have dealt the bonus damage, which is the character damage. So every 5 answered we can choose an upgrade, like double damage, gain more time, or gain a life but losing time. We will choose double damage. Okay, let's press the order. Okay, so this is the last one. There you go. As you can see, we have every character that we answered, the time that we have spent answering, and Taijian, I have skipped this, so this counts as a mistake. So now let me show you the normal mode. We select a boss, we go to writing and normal mode. So we don't have anything besides that first stroke. It can be a little bit intimidating, but the first stroke actually is really helpful for giving us a spatial reference and, you know, the first stroke. You see, writing characters is 100 times more difficult than recognizing characters, but it will also improve your Chinese level by 100 times more. If we don't know how to write the character, we can always press the stroke button, and also we have Lily that will freeze the time and will show us, you know, the character and the next 3 strokes. Okay. We can choose an upgrade. You will see that this is a new upgrade called Lily Charge, which will give you 1 more charge to use Lily, and that's pretty useful. Yeah, that's the boss battles, which are actually very fun to play, very challenging because writing is like this other league of studying Chinese, but it's also the best way to study vocabulary. Let me show you a few other things. Now if we enter in my collection, there are some little changes, like this button down below, which is the more info button that we already are familiar with, that will show us visually in a list mode with all the information, strokes, pinyin, meaning, and the level. We can see that we are in page 1 out of 50. Now every page has 50 characters. This is for optimization purposes. We can also sort all the characters from our collection by their level, by their type, and also A to C, C to A, and also by units. And this gives us like different ways and fun ways of reviewing our collection. Another fun little thing that I have added is here in the leaderboard button, which is the Luodingo section. If we enter here, we can see that Luodingo Max, you know, this green owl, which is threatening our world. And in order to defeat Luodingo, every student around the world playing Macalaoshi flashcards will have to join forces. Luodingo Max has a 100 million HP, and every XP that we earn by playing will deal 1 damage to Luodingo Max. So every correct answer that we make by playing is 1 more XP. So yeah, we have a long way to go. This will be pretty motivating once it starts ongoing and going. We can also see the country rankings. In here we will see how many players does a country have, how many streaks they accumulate, and how many XP they accumulate as well. If you want to make your country go to the top, let's share with everybody you know that it is studying Chinese, because I think this is actually a pretty fun, challenging, satisfying, and also a pretty cheap option. Remember that the premium account will give you full access to the game, and it is only a one-time payment. It is not a subscription, it is not a monthly pay, it is just a one-time payment of only $7.99. You can also buy the Super Support, which will give you the 7 skins of Lily for just $14.99. This is like a fun way of supporting the app and supporting me. I hope that you will enjoy this update and you will improve a lot more with this writing mode, because as I said, writing is the best way to practice vocabulary. Yeah, consider supporting the app by buying the premium and share it with everybody. Okay, now that we have reached the end of this tutorial, let me show you how to make your own magic pen. You only need a pen, these cotton things that you clean your ear with, and some aluminum paper. With the pen, you have to remove the top part of it, the ink, and you will leave it like this, hollow, where you will place half of the ear cleaning cotton in here. Then you have like this cotton pen, and then we have to place the aluminum paper surrounding the pen. Make sure that it is touching the cotton, and this way we have our own magic pen. There is only one last thing that you need for it to work, which is water or your saliva. Let me just wet it, and every time you use the pen, make sure that you touch the aluminum part and the aluminum is touching the cotton, and you will see that it works. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy. Share it with everybody you know that is studying Chinese, and please consider supporting the app. It's so cheap. It's only a one-time payment,